Welcome to the weekly course of action, week 7. I'm Gwen Bortner. This week, I want to talk to you about lists. Now, when we think about productivity and improving our effectiveness, most of the time when we think about lists, we think of a task list. But that's not what I want to talk to you about today. Today, I want to talk to you about checklists. Now, when I say a checklist, I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. We've all used them for all sorts of things. But there's a way to use them in our businesses that make us so much more productive. Now, the reason a checklist helps your business become more productive is because it records information that you need to use repetitively without having to keep it in your brain. Now, this may seem like, well, it's not that big of a deal, but each of those little things that we try and remember use up brain processing power that could be used for something else. So let me give you an example that just happened to me a few weeks ago. I use a checklist for when I travel to teach. Now, this is something I've been doing for years and years and years, and you'd think I wouldn't need to have a checklist, but I include one in my list as I'm going through my process. And it includes things like the class handouts, because heaven knows I need those, and my basic supplies, and some sort of contact information, whether it be a class catalog or business cards, and a few other similar kinds of items. Now, a few weeks ago when I was packing, I didn't actually look at my list because I know what's on that list. Well, as I was getting ready to go to bed the night before I was going to leave, I realized I had forgotten something. And that was extra brain power that my brain had to use to try and remember something that was actually on the list. If I would have just looked at it, it would have been so much easier. Now, the way that you can use lists effectively in your business is much like I use them in mine. Things that you're going to do repetitively on any sort of regular or sporadic basis, like my traveling. I do it quite often, but I don't always do it the same time on any given month. But even if I was doing it on a regular schedule, like my bookkeeping, I also have a list for that. What are the things that I need to do each time? So this week, for your weekly course of action, I'm encouraging you to make a few checklists. Think about the things that you do on a regular basis and make a checklist so you don't have to use your brain to try and remember what all of the steps are, and then just check them off each time you do it. You'll be surprised how much easier it is. And I'll see you next week on the weekly course of action.